Well, you're right. I do agree with you. But the problem is that it is very hard, complicated for some people to build or rebuild credit with a credit card, with a loan, or any kind of debts, right? So, in today's conversation, what I want to do is I want to teach everybody how to build personal credit fast without any loan, credit card, or hard pull. Don't go anywhere. You will love it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Story Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you were to ask me if you are doing as excellent as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's convo, I want to quickly talk to you about how to build personal credit fast without any type of debt. And this is kind of important because, and I want to give you the foundation of today's discussion here. Why do you need to build credit in the first place? Well, you have a plethora of reasons why you need to build credit. First, you need credit to get a loan, to get any type of debt, right? Student loan, mortgage, personal loans, and so on and so forth. You need to have a credit history or credit score to sometimes get insurance. This is very important: auto insurance, home insurance, and so on and so forth. And then in some cases, even though the law prohibits it, some employers might want to they might want to conduct a background check, and part of that background check is the your credit history, and also you might need a credit score, a high credit score to rent or lease. Landlords pay attention to your payment history, and that makes sense. They are trying to cover their risk. They're trying to cover the risk of a tenant not paying their rent. But the thing is that even though you have a constellation of reasons why you need credit, there are two fundamental problems with debt when it comes to building personal credit. Number one, it's hard to get any type of debt, any type of credit for that matter, if you have no credit history to start with. But the problem is, how can you build credit if no lender ever gave you a chance to do so? See, that's what I call the first vicious circle. And by the way, the same is true for rebuilding credit. So building credit or rebuilding credit, you face the same hurdle. So that's the first vicious circle. The second one is with debt, you run the risk of overspending and over indebtedness if you lack financial discipline in the first place. So the bottom line here is that we have two sets of vicious circles when it comes to building personal credit with debt. So in today's conversation, we're going to toss away all those risks, all those vicious circles, and we're going to find a way to build personal credit fast without any loan, credit card, or hard pull. Step number one, you can actually use a credit builder credit card. So a credit builder credit card is not really a credit card because it's not even a secure credit card. It's a part of the new wave of what we call fintech credit cards. And a prime example of that is the Chime card. As you can see on the screen, the Chime card, as all credit builder credit card, allows you to increase your credit scores by an average of 30 to 50 points with a different type of secure credit card. So there is no annual fee or interest. You're not borrowing. There is no credit check to apply. There's no hard pull, no soft pull. There is no minimum security deposit required. This is why I was just telling you earlier. It's not really a secure credit card, and so you have no annual fee, and you can make every purchase count, whether it's gas or groceries. You can use the credit builder credit card for everyday purchases to help build credit with regular on-time payments. Okay, and the cool thing here is that you have a safer credit building. In other words, you are actually paying your balance automatically every month. There is no risk of over indebtedness. There's no risk of, let's say, if you're not financially disciplined on the personal level, at least you have a system in place that actually blocks you from ever getting to the danger zone when it comes to over indebtedness. So that's fantastic. And as I said, Credit Builder from Chime or other players is similar to a secure credit card, but it is different in the sense that you are actually building credit. you are actually raking in rewards. You're not borrowing. Nobody's giving you money. You're using your own money. So the money you move to the credit builder secured account is how much you can spend with the card. This amount is often referred to by other players as security deposit. Like other secure credit cards, credit builder from Chime or other players also reports to the major credit bureaus to help you build credit history over time. However, for most secure credit cards, security deposits are unavailable to you, the consumer, until you close the account. With a credit builder from Chime or other card issuers, you can use your deposit to pay for monthly charges. In addition, credit builder charges no fees and no interest and no minimum security deposit required. So this is really good. Step number 2, you can try to get a secured credit card. So step number 1, trying to get a credit builder credit card. Step number 2, you can get a secure credit card. Again, when you get a secured credit card, you don't build personal credit with a traditional credit card. This is because you fund the credit limit the card issuer grants you. Okay, there are several secured cards out there. If you would like to choose one, pay attention to interest rate and other fees, annual fee, cash advance fee, balance transfer fee, etc. Let me give you an example. The First Progress Platinum Prestige MasterCard secured credit card. You're showing this on the screen right now. Okay, and so this is a card that we love because it has lower fees. One thing I want to quickly say here is that if you want to build personal credit fast without any loan or credit card or hard pull, you're going to have to pay something anyway. The whole idea is to reduce the payments, is to reduce the investments in your credit, to reduce the cost, right? So that you can build credit really fast and start raking it in and start taking advantage of the low APR and all the wonderful offers that lenders and the credit card issuers from time to time will toss into your mailbox. Okay, so if we talk about the First Progress Platinum Prestige MasterCard, for example, this is a great secure card, and it is great because it is open to everybody, right? You can actually get it even if you have bad credit, low credit, no credit, and there is no hard credit inquiry. They do a soft pull. This is pretty cool. And the only disadvantage here is that you have to pay an annual fee of $49. And for us, this is really good because this is reasonable because you have cards out there, they have a higher annual fee. And in terms of the interest rate, you also have a very low interest rate on this card. Okay. And I'm not even talking about the fact that they report to all 3 major credit bureaus, helping you establish credit history. And another thing that we love here is that you have a great customer service. You have a constellation of educational resources. In other words, they have an app, and if you log into your account, you have a lot of resources about budgeting, about personal finance, about planning a retirement, investing, all this kind of stuff, and savings. All right. So step number 1, use a credit builder credit card. Step number 2, get a secure credit card, and so that can help you build personal credit fast. Step number 3, you want to get a debit card that builds credit history. This is wonderful. This is kind of similar to the Chime card I was speaking to you earlier, but with a little difference, because the Chime card is a credit builder credit card, right? And now I want you to get a debit card that builds credit history. And we have actually found one that really works fantastically, and that's the Extra card. And the Extra card is a great card. It's, this is a part of the new wave, again, the new wave of fintech credit cards and debit cards out there. They're trying to help borrowers with low credit score, no credit score, fair credit scores, right? So if we take the example of the Extra, for example, you basically sign up by connecting your bank account, and Extra gives you a spending limit based on your real-time balance with no credit check. So when you swipe your Extra card, the company spots you for that purchase and automatically pays itself back the next business day. So at the end of the month, Extra totals up all of your purchases and reports them to credit bureaus as credit-worthy payments. And there you have it. So debits that builds credit. Isn't that innovative? That's really innovative. That's excellent. And we love the Extra. We've actually covered, we've reviewed the Extra debit card extensively on another show, but I want to quickly give you the ins and outs here. So Extra is not really a secure credit card because it doesn't require you to deposit your line up front. It doesn't conduct a credit check. It doesn't charge you up to 20 or 25% in interest rate or APR. I mean, yeah, origination fees and all that kind of fees. And you're not limited in terms of your credit score impact because you're fronting your own line. The limit that you get, it's totally up to you. And the extra difference is that you can build your credit without debt. You can keep your bank account, and you also have rewards. So this is a MasterCard. This is a MasterCard debit card with rewards. So this is really good. And even if you travel, even if you there is the only fees that extra charges are foreign transaction fees. So when you travel, just make sure, keep in mind that you are going to pay foreign transaction fees. Step number 4, or I would say option number 4, because all of those are not steps, they're more option, and there are more options. And one thing I want to say here is step number 4, you can get a credit builder loan. And one thing I want to clarify is that a credit builder loan is not a traditional loan, far from it. So when you apply for a credit builder loan, lenders place the full amount, typically between $300 and $1,000, in some cases $10,000, into a secured account. So unlike a regular loan, you cannot access the money right away. Instead, you make a fixed payment every month until you've paid off the entire loan, and then you get the full amount back. And credit builder loans offer a great way to build credit because you are making regular payments but are not spending extra money. All payments are reported to major credit bureaus to help boost your credit rating. Okay, so this is pretty good. And sometimes you hear the names, you hear words such as fresh starts loan, starting over loans, credit builder loans. All those things mean the same thing. They are interchangeable. So this is pretty important. And the cool thing here is that you can actually find a credit builder loan anywhere. You can find it at credit unions or community banks. You can find it at CDFIs, the Community Development Financial Institutions. So those are organizations that help lower income communities, and there are about 1,000 of them in the United States. And you can also get those credit builder loan from online lenders. So if you take one like Self, formerly a Self Lender, they offer loans with payments starting at $25 a month for a 2-year loan. Interest rates are below 15 to 10%, and payments are reported to the 3 major credit bureaus: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So you have Self. You also have Kickoff, and Kickoff is kind of cool too. They have a similar business model or lending model, if you will. You can also get a credit builder loan from lending circles. Okay, and here what I'm speaking about is you have for instance, you have a nonprofit called Mission Asset Fund. They run a lending circle program, and participants get interest-free social loans with payments reported to credit bureaus. And they're not available everywhere. You can plug in your zip code to see if there is one in your community. And if you just go on the nonprofit Mission Asset Fund, and you just search for your zip code there and see if there is such a circle around where you live. Okay, this is pretty cool. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation today about how to build personal credit fast without any loan, credit card, or hard pull. And step number 5, or option number 5, become an authorized user. See, the whole idea is to make sure that you are building credit without risking anything without risking without risking over indebtedness, without risking a hard pull, right? So if you are, let's say, when you open a credit card, you are often given the option to add someone else as an authorized user on that account. And this basically means that the person is allowed to make charges to your account. An authorized user typically gets their own card with their own name on it. And they have basic privileges like reporting a lost or stolen card and making payments on the account. And there are a couple of advantages to being an authorized user. One is that you are not financially responsible for the account. So this is pretty cool. And even though you can use it, if the account goes past you, the credit card company is not going to come after you for payments. So you're not you're off the hook, all right? And so that's one advantage. The second advantage is that the credit card's payment record and balance would typically show up on your credit report. And this may not always be the case though. So be sure to read the card's terms and conditions before you decide to become an authorized user. Did you get that? So this is important. And an authorized user is totally separate from a co-borrower or co-signer. Okay, I'm not going to go into details here because this could be a little convoluted, but just remember that if you're an authorized user, you just reap the benefits without the risk. So if there is a default on the card or the loan, you're still off the hook. As an authorized user, you can basically count someone else's good credit as your own, which is a great way, if you were to ask me, to build your credit score. Of course, the cardholder's bad credit will also count as your own. So you want to be very careful here, and you want to keep a close eye on the account. So if the cardholder starts carrying a high balance or stops making payments on time, this could tank your burgeoning credit score as well. So this is something that, you have to be vigilant here. And your best bet here is to only become an authorized user if you know the cardholder's credit and you know he or she is responsible. And then you need to keep tabs on the account information, including the card's balance and payment dates. Finally, be sure to know before that you know how to remove yourself from the account in case things go south. And you know what? They might go south. It depends. This is life. Stuff happens. But you just got to be prepared. Option number 6, you can actually build credit with alternative data. Okay, and you can actually get the credit you deserve. You can get the credit score that you deserve by reporting your rent and utility payments. So this is a strategy that works fantastically, and we love it because it does not involve any type of credit. So when your credit score is less than stellar, you might feel that you're stuck in a consumer purgatory of sorts, right? This harks back to the two vicious circles that I was speaking to you about earlier, right? So the cards feel stacked against you. For one, it will be harder to get approved for anything that requires good credit or credit at all, right? Think about a credit card, car loan, personal loan, or mortgage. What's more, if you do qualify, you are pegged with higher interest fees and less favorable rates. And if you, the good news is that by reporting other types of financial data, you can improve your credit. If you're a credit newbie or have a low score, there are a few strategies, there are a few things you can do, a few services and online platforms that help you report alternative data to boost your score. By alternative data, I'm talking about rent, utility payments, and other kind of payments that are not financially related, to financial related, such as a loan or credit card. Okay, so first we have level credit. You can see on the screen. So this is formerly known as Rent Track and then Credit Pop later on. Level Credit is a service that reports your rental history to two of the consumer credit bureaus, Experian and TransUnion. So it basically treats your rental income as a trade line or another account on your credit file. You have to pay for it. The cost is about $6.95 to $9.95 per month per account. And then you have Rental Karma, and similar to Level Credit, Rental Karma helps build your credit history by reporting your rental payments to your TransUnion credit report. You can add up to 24 months of rental payments to your report, and it normally takes about 2 weeks to show up in your credit report. And there is a one-time registration fee of $50, which includes one-time setup and 6 months of past rental history. And as for monthly fees, it's $8.95 a month for just you. Then you have Experian Boost. So with Experian Boost, you can report your phone and utility bills to factor into your credit profile. Only information that will be beneficial to your score will be added. So if you miss or are late on a payment, they will not be included. And this is absolutely free. And you also have Ultra FICO, which will be soon launching. They will be launching a pilot program that will allow people to include their banking transactions on their credit score. So again, this is in beta mode, so we have no information about cost right now. But those are, I'm just telling you that there are options out there. You can also, and this is number 7, you can also use an alternative credit score. So the problem with, as we all know, right, the problem with establishing credit for the first time is that you have to get credit to create a credit score. But if you're starting from absolute zero, that's tough. That's where alternative credit scoring models come in. Let me give you an example. We have seen in our research a great company called Connect, and the website is there. So Connect is a consumer reporting bureau like Experian or TransUnion, but instead of tracking your credit information, it tracks your payments on things like rent and recurring bills. Again, we have the same lending model here, utility bills and rent, right? The score provided by Connect ranges from 100 to 850. So to set up an account, you'll have to manually link your utilities, phone, and other accounts. You could also consider linking a prepaid credit card to your Connect account so that it can track your payments to that account. Then you can access your credit report and scores. And the use of this scoring model is fairly limited, if you really ask me, because it's new, and right now you only have 8,500 companies nationwide that accept it. But it is growing. It is growing, and you can. And the cool thing here is that if the company you are applying for credit with, if they happen to be among the 8,500 companies nationwide that accept a Connect score, that's fantastic, because that credit will then help you start building a traditional credit score. Okay, so because it's not widely accepted, the Connect score is of limited value as of now, but it can help you get the goal of opening a credit account or two so that you can build up your traditional credit score and finally get into the actual credit card or mortgage or loan game, the larger ones. Okay, and remember, Connect service is 100% free. Okay, and some of the businesses that accept Connect alternative credit scores include car dealerships, electronics and appliances retailers, furniture stores. Okay, and this is a company that is great. They are very solid. They do use 256-bit AES encryption, military grade encryption. So this is one of the most sophisticated information encryption standards in use. And they also have a strong data center, and this is where they store, collect, and analyze all of your bill payment information. So that data center is compliant with the payment card industry data security standard 3.0, the latest set of protocols from the PCI Security Standards Council. Okay, and for extra protection, the organization also monitors the facility 24/7, 365. And step or option number 8, folks, we are still talking about how to build personal credit fast without any loan, any debt, any credit card, any hard pull. You want to keep your options open. This is step number 8. So option number 8. This is very important. There is a caveat to everything we have said. If you currently have no credit history or have a very low score, reporting rent may be very helpful to you, rent or utilities, right? However, the problem is that you never know which credit score model a potential lender will use. So if your rent payments only impact your Vantage score and FICO 9 score, you're out of luck. If a lender pulls a FICO 8 score, for example, which is still an available option, you may be out of luck. You also don't know which credit bureau's credit history will be used. So if your rent payments are only reported to TransUnion, but your lender pulls a score based on your Experian file, your rent payments will not make a difference. And chances are that more and more lenders, particularly those dealing with the first-time home buyers and those without much credit history, will use this score because this whole industry is in flux. It's still moving up. Having said that, there is no guarantee. So you may be out of luck with certain lenders who don't pull the right credit score. And what I want to say here is that the big question that most people have asked, and we have asked this question also when we were doing our research, are these services right for you? I'm speaking about the alternative scoring, the alternative payments. Are those proper for you? So paying a few bucks a month to have your rent payments reported to the credit bureaus may be worth your while, but it may also be a waste of your money. So if you have got a great credit history, or even just a couple of loans and a credit card, adding rent payments may not make a big difference. Here are the two situations in which you might want to pay for these services. So if your score is below 650, then you really will you'll find the ROI very high. In other words, you will see that those services will help you because they will help you establish credit or increase your credit score, which will help you in turn lower the APR and other offers that you get from banks, lenders, and credit card issuers. So that's the first one. So If your score is below 650, you might want to consider alternative scoring, alternative data reporting. Same thing if you are currently unscorable. In other words, if you have no credit history. Because as I explained at the beginning of today's show, you have two vicious circles here, right? So having no credit history is something of a catch-22. So you need to have credit to get credit. And if you have credit and you don't use it well, you might actually have a lower credit or a poor credit. So this is the catch-22. If you have that, then yes, you definitely want to think about it. So the bottom line is that the $10 a month is worth it. It's worth it. Again, this is an investment in your future. It's better for you to establish credit fast, 3 to 6 months, and start raking it in terms of low APR, in terms of better offers from banks, lenders, and credit card issuers. Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I really appreciate your presence, your virtual presence today. And I just want to quickly recap what we spoke about. So I spoke to you about how to build personal credit fast without any loan, credit card, or hard pull. So there are a lot of options. You can use a credit builder credit card. You can get a secured credit card. You can get a debit card that builds credit history. You can get a credit builder loan. You can become an authorized user. You can build credit with alternative data. You can use an alternative credit score, and you can keep your options open. Thank you so much, folks, for your attention again. I will speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.